Hello, my friend. We are social beings. We love to connect with each other. And I know for many of us, for so long, not having our usual lives, not having the space to connect with our loved ones can be very challenging. My father lives in Canada, and there's a lot of restrictions to crossing the border, so I have not seen him since before the pandemic started. And we have to resort to doing things online for many of us this holiday season. How many of you have noticed that in some of your online meetings, without there being any structure, that it's just a bunch of people talking over each other? There's all these random noises in the background, and the video keeps moving from place to place, and maybe just a couple people are actually having conversation and the rest are just sitting there quietly and watching. Where we actually have, at the end of the day, kind of a boring time for some of us and less connection than we would normally. Whereas actually, if you facilitate the online program in a certain way, then you're going to have even deeper connection than you might otherwise. And it just takes a little bit of that knowledge and effort to get there. I thought I would share some tips because I've actually been facilitating online programs like literally since webinars started. I started leading webinars, and there's a lot of ways in which we can make a structure happen where we can truly connect and everyone can have an opportunity to share and get to know each other. And thus, I want to share 3 main tips for you to keep in mind. And the first one is to facilitate the conversation. And what that means is, first of all, you need a facilitator. You need somebody who's going to guide the conversation, who's going to call on each individual as it ends up being their turn. When you're on Zoom, everybody's Zoom has everyone in a different order. So you can't just rely on the same Brady Bunch order for everyone, which means somebody needs to say who is actually next. And it's hard when you allow people to just pop up and share when they want. There's going to be a stall during that, and some people might also shy away from sharing. And of course, it's fine if people don't want to share. You don't have to make anyone. And then what are you going to do to facilitate that conversation? One of the meetings that my family had was kind of a family reunion of some family members who didn't even know each other. And so the first step was just saying like who we are, where we live, and which older family member are we related to that most of the people there would know. But the next thing we did was we had a theme for the meeting, which was kind of around honoring our ancestors. It was remembering basically like the great-grandparents who were the ones who birthed this entire section of the family that was in the reunion. What we did was go around and each share a story of a memory with that family person. So something very specific, personal, and fun and relatable for everyone there. One of the other very easy questions to ask people, which is really great during this time, especially around Thanksgiving when we're supposed to think about gratitude, is just what is something new and wonderful that has come into your life during this time? You know, what's actually a good change that has happened for you? What's something that you learned, that you grew from? So we start to look at what could be the positive impact and feel better about our lives right now. But it's very interesting to see how other people's lives have changed during this time. So this will be interesting for you to share as well as for you to hear from other people. And I actually have a whole list of interesting questions you can ask others in virtual conversations in the How to Love and Be Loved online course. That's simply at howtoloveandbeloved.com. The second idea is to include competitions and themes. And Thanksgiving is so centered around the food, and we cannot try each other's food, but we can make the appearance look really nice. Because remember, on Zoom, things are going to be audio and they're going to be visual. So what competitions could you make? Like, who's going to make the nicest looking plate, the nicest looking pie? The other thing that is fun to think about is your background as well, and who's going to have the most interesting background. My power went out, so I don't have any lights on to have as much flexibility for you right now, but what you'll see here is that I have this just a little simple Thanksgiving display behind me of, some candles and fun things going on back there. Maybe I should even, because these are battery operated, we'll see if we can see these guys right now, and then I could actually have some light in my apartment. There we go. Spruce it up easy enough with these battery operated candles. The other thing with themes, the lighting, that was really fun when I was hosting the online dance parties, and those were in the evening, and I have some laser lights, and so other people started getting ideas to play with lighting in their place. So if you're doing an evening event, that can be fun, is just see who has the most interesting lighting as part of their visual background. Some people are using fake backgrounds, and that can be interesting to see what they come up with as their fake background as well, because you can put your own images on there. So it means you can create your own thing and not just use the templates that are available in Zoom. But also for themes, like when we had the online dance parties, 1 week it was, okay, we're going to, if you have wings, any kind of wing type of thing, then wear your wings for the dance. Another week was, we're gonna be doing broom dances, because a lot of us are social dancers. We're used to dancing with a partner. So we pulled out brooms and we did some dancing around with the brooms, and it was really funny, and it's creative. So apply some themes and make it fun in that way. And along that line, in terms of making it fun, the third idea I want to say are games. Facilitate connection and fun. One of my favorite things to do on Zoom is simply a one-word sentence, is what the game is called. And the first person is going to say one word, like the, and then the second person is going to say the second word, ship, and the third person says the third word, went, and so on. So you don't really know where the story is going to go, and it can be a run-on sentence, no big deal, but each person contributes a word. Now, how are you going to facilitate that because of the Brady Bunch order being different? I like to tell people we're going to go in alphabetical order, and then I say the names so that people pay attention to who is there, and then I tell them, memorize who you're before and who you're after. So all you need to do is basically remember who you're doing your word after, and then you're set. You don't have to memorize the whole order. So that's what makes it easier for people, and then that can flow pretty smoothly. You kind of have to do that when you're in person as well. I was doing it with, my brother has 7 nephews and nieces, and I was recently visiting them. And they're young. I mean, these guys, this group were 13 and under, and there were about 5 of them, and we were taking a walk, and I wanted them not to fight while we were walking. So I simply had to give them the order because they're all over the place. And for them, I did age order, and they could remember who they were after, and then they contributed the one words, and this really, really funny, interesting story. Nothing realistic, but it's funny. And that's the point, is just how do we facilitate a good time together? There's tons of other games that I'm sure you can come up with, and you can always ping me for some more ideas. And just a last thing, just an administrative piece. What you're probably gonna have when you bring your family together are people who still have not gone on Zoom yet. and are not technologically savvy. And you get the funny things where you get funny angles and you're looking up their nose on Zoom, or the lighting isn't there and you can't see them, and their sound is on even while they're saying all these funny things in the background. And for those people, honestly, I would take a few minutes before you actually meet as a group and help orient them with Zoom and or whatever online program you're using and what the experience is like, and make sure they know beforehand how to mute and unmute themselves, and that when they're unmuted and they make noises, that everyone is going to hear that. So that'll, I know it's funny when those things happen, but then it also starts to interrupt the flow. So just taking a little extra time for people who need a little extra help, who aren't used to the technology. And then maybe some of you guys can also share some ideas you have on what facilitates deep connections where everyone gets to feel like they're contributing to the online experiences. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful time this holiday, that you stay safe, you stay healthy. As always, keep your eyes on my Facebook wall, because I'm going to keep sharing different tips on how you can supercharge your immune system. And some of you probably already caught on to the deal that I have for my online course, Embody Vibrant Health, for Black Friday, because it's over 80% off. So that's a huge discount, and it's a great way to just slowly integrate habits into your life that are going to keep you stronger, healthier, more energetic, more joyful, and help you bounce back quickly as well if you do get sick. Blessings to you.